So this video I want to make in regards to uh, the concept of fake voice and real voice. Um, I'm not really sure what to say, to be quite honest, as far as the credibility of this concept. Um, People have told me I'm many things as far as my voice. They've told me I'm a bass baritone. Um, some have told me that, because I'm a bass baritone, I should only sing low and that I can't get past D4 or E4 properly. It's going to be very hard. I my voice belongs in the low zone, belongs, in the third and second octaves, and that's it. Some have told me that I'm just a lyric baritone who's pushed her sound down, as far as, a bass baritone would sound, and that I'm actually just another Barry. Some people have told me that, I'm not even a baritone. My voice is much too light to be a baritone. Doesn't have that masculineness. Whenever I try to do a man voice, it doesn't sound real. So when I talk down here, it doesn't sound real. And when I talk up here instead, it sounds more natural. But if I talk a little bit higher, say high enough to escape fry resonance, then people think that I'm pushing my voice up to sound higher, or they think that it sounds still real and not, wow, wait, damn it, I had something going on, hold on, I had something going on, this is typical me, I'm probably gonna upload it still, but what I was saying was, yeah, so to escape the melody of having fry go into the voice because it's not supporting, because it's falling into the ear, it's I'm just talking like this, which would be closer to my bass baritone voice, bass baritone range, a voice that actually does use fry resonance in order to sound like if I want to use fry resonance, then I can, totally affect, a lower baritone, or bass baritone sound. In fact, I just reached the bottom of the second octave. I think I even hit a B flat one at the end of that phrase. Then some people have told me that, I'm not a tenor. My voice is not masculine. It's a contralto voice. My voice has, this resonance in the third and fourth octaves. It doesn't go up to, the fifth octave very easily. And it doesn't, it's more comfortable in a fourth octave belt, which any bass baritone or any baritone would not be very comfortable in, so you must be a contralto. And then I was told that, my contralto voice, is just full of fry distortion. You think you're a contralto because you're frying your voice a lot. You have a lot of comfort in the fifth octave, you're a mezzo. And then, but I can sing up to C6, that was C sharp 6, but, and I can, do that. And, I know that was a squeal, but whatever. It's worth the time, for this conversation. I, can do that. And so my voice is soprano, which it's not. I can, I have a very strong head voice, and maybe I'm, a lower soprano because of that or something like that, and, wouldn't I love to be? But, so if I raise my voice a bit, if I raise my voice up here, is that more fake than this voice or this voice? When ultimately I can go into, this voice, even I don't know why I can't get on camera, but this voice is not what I had 2 years ago. It's not what I had 3 years ago. It's not what I had a year ago. My voice was almost an octave deeper than this. And, I don't know, maybe I should put a clip in. I don't know. I just put a URL in under this, to show, because my voice, resonated in a lower larynx position, and in a lower pitch, and with more fry resonance. This might not sound real in comparison, but it doesn't sound like a girl. A girl generally cannot do this, And it just adds fatigue to this voice, which takes away from the realness of this voice, doesn't it? And this voice takes away from the realness of this voice. The more I do it, the more I do both, the more destabilized either becomes. Now, we know that a soprano, a mezzo, they have smaller larynxes. And relative to their necks, their larynxes tend to actually be higher than the lower voice types' voices. The extent that a bass can lower his larynx is very, very great. And then the extent that a soprano can is not as much. Otherwise, we'd have sopranos that, well, we have Christina Aguilera, I guess. We do have sopranos who use low larynx position. But the extent that they can lower it is not that great. With contraltos, their voices tend to be chest dominant, in such a way that the head voice is actually rather weak, which is rare in a female voice. In fact, it's somewhat uncharacteristic of being a female to have a voice that is so chest dominant. Ah, 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 and not have head resonance. I think my voice is somewhat fatigued because I've been going back and forth so much just now. But, and really the past few days out of exploration. But, that's why I kind of sounded a bit strained and, sort of strident, that head voice. And the chest voice sounded a bit unsupported. Yeah, a contralto will have that quality of having, they'll have this really strong chest voice. And then when they go into head voice, it's like a man's falsetto. Unless they train it. And then it might become more like soprano. Like Happy Rhodes or, Happy Rhodes has that. Who else is a soprano is a contralto that has that? I don't know. I know Jean Carn is generally considered a soprano. But she does have a very strong, alto range. That can really traverse the third octave very well. She has very strong C3s, and she's a soprano. She has what a high octave range. It's crazy. Look up Jean Carn. She's a would-be legend as far as her voice. We didn't have the most iconic appearance, I guess. Anyway, yeah, but a soprano is a lot more head dominant and has a very weak chest voice. And will even speak into, head voice a bit. Or really speak into this mixed voice that doesn't have much chest resonance. Has some chest resonance because we all speak in chest voice, but it's not much. A mezzo will have a bit more chest resonance, and will be able to, is very at ease when belting and mixing. A soprano will be like, to be, it'll be like that, and a mezzo will be like, kind of a darker color, and a contralto will be more, in, I can't do these examples that well, but I'm gonna try to do with what I can. Contralto will have this sort of weightier extension to your voice. Will be going down to no, like that. We'll be able to do that with relative ease. And often in a way that even some tenors might fail, a tenor is very strong in his mixed voice. And his mixed voice is heavier than a girl's mixed voice. Is more chest dominant than a girl's mixed voice. So what's that? Vincero! I can't do that right now. That's gonna embarrass me. Vincero! Why can't you do it if you're a tenor? If you're not a baritone, and you're not a bass baritone, because your voice is not low enough, and you have a male voice, what are you? A tenor. So I should be able to sing Vincero! Vincero! Without sounding like a woman, right? Yet I can't. It's way too weighty. if I, a tenor would be like able to do that with relative ease. It is able to traverse the fourth octave in chest voice with relative ease. They're the best at that, alongside, I guess, the contralto, who might actually be a bit more baritonal in their attack to that because of the nature of chest voice and head voice and female voices. But I'm not sure. Or maybe just the scale of the voice is like a rescaling of the baritone voice almost to a female dimension. I don't know. Because the contralto, from what I've found, is more likely to have that throaty sound in the chest mix region than a tenor is, for instance. A tenor will be like, hey! Whereas a contralto will be like, hey! It'll be like that. A contralto will be like, hey! 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 One is dark, one is light. A baritone has this huskiness, very comfortable in third octave, and probably has trouble past E4, I used to have trouble past E4, but then again, most male voices do. And, many voices in general have trouble with E4 because that's generally where the head voice and chest voice start to break apart. And a bass, kind of like a contralto, actually. Contraltos tend to have aptitude with the fry register, like, hey, be able to do that. A bass will have resonance that goes down to fry and is able to sort of support in fry. So, like, think an octave below, hey, they'll be able to do like, they'll be able to do that, which is not something that someone who's training as a contralto or mezzo or soprano should do. Sorry, why am I doing it? Because I don't listen. And of course, there is this scratchiness in my voice right now because how many different voices have I attempted to do? You're not supposed to be a bass and a soprano at the same time. That does not yield you to be a tenor or a contralto. It just leads your voice to be confused. But yeah, I've inhabited most or all of these vocal categories. I have a whistle register. Oh God, of course I'm going to fail at this because, of course, that's how I am. That's a very soprano thing to have, but everyone has it. Everyone has it. Whistle register is just defined by the air going across your chords rather than abducting the cricothyroid or thyroidnoid folds. So chest voice is not fully adducting. Head voice is not fully adducting. It's really just air passing over and causing the chords to vibrate laterally instead of vertically. You might have some resonance in the primary vocal registers, which sort of like is what creates that sort of mixed whistle or flageolet sound, like where it's thicker. I'm bad at doing vocal examples. I'm still training. Sorry. But that's not something I should be able to do as a bass baritone, is it? That's not something I should be able to do as a contralto, is it? It's not sounding squeaky, or like, well, maybe it is. I don't know. But it's certainly not a contralto thing to do, to be just swarming across the sixth octave like that. It's not a contralto thing to go like, ah! Like to be able to sing and mix like that. And yet there are many contraltos who can do it. And there are, it doesn't sound characteristically contralto to do that. It's more a falcon soprano thing, actually, to sing with such chest, or such resonance, up into the upper reachings of the fifth octave. I don't know. I've spoken for so long on these things, and it's become more of a ramble on voice types. But these voice types, they almost seem like weight classifications. You can adapt to a different weight classification. You can train into a different weight classification. You can train into a different body type, But you will be identified based on that body type or weight classification because of what your body is doing at this moment. If your body is attuned to singing in head voice, and kind of struggles with chest voice or fully engaging it, so it might sound like this in like fourth octave, or where it sounds very gentle and like it's not belting at all. I think you're probably a soprano. If you're fine to use your chest mix, in the fourth octave, you can bridge sort of up to like maybe D5 or E flat 5 and not much higher. And probably a mezzo. If you have a very throaty chest voice and you can't really go past C5 and your head voice isn't very strong, unlike the mezzos where it's like somewhat strong but kind of disconnected, then you're probably a contralto. If you can belt till tomorrow and you have a lower voice, you're probably a tenor, If you're a man who's more comfortable in his head voice or in his mixed voice, you're probably a countertenor. Or male soprano, something like that. These are rare voice types, obviously. So, but I was just listening to Alex Newell earlier today, and he was phenomenal. If you struggle to belt and your voice is more conversational, you're probably a baritone. If your voice likes to go into the lower reachings of voice range, you're probably a bass. But these are all traits of tendency and vocal interest, predilection, preference, They are all somewhat shiftable. If you have a whistle register that's connected, you're probably a soprano, If your voice has proper mixing qualities, so you're probably a mezzo or early well-trained contralto. I don't know. You're probably more of a weightier soprano if that's the case, if you're doing that. If your voice can really project, is very shrill, metallic sounding, probably a dramatic voice. If your voice is lighter and warmer, versus you're probably a lyric voice. If you can sort of climax into the you're probably a spinto voice if you're soprano or tenor, obviously. The other types don't have that. If you are good with coloratura, passages, or you're in a agile voice, or you like, you probably can coloratura voice or leggero voice. But yeah, these are all qualities of voice. They're not absolute. These are like modes that you can engage in the voice. We all have the same registers. We all, by and large, have the same pitches, actually. It's just a matter of where you sit and what you've actually been able to train. So, I don't know. I mean, my voice is hoarse right now. And you could attribute that to being a fake voice, but it's also like, why isn't it just sitting down really loud and low? You know, why is it frying in the third octave if I'm a bass baritone, if I'm a baritone, if I'm a tenor, you know? What's fake, what's real as far as the voice? It's just what feels most authentic to you and what you use most fluently. You know, you're a fake Russian if you can't speak, you know, beyond like, I think we should end the video here. Okay, thanks.